Hey, Canucks fans. Once again, it's Canucks game day, and I take some time to answer all of your questions. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Sunday, November the 27th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks to everyone who joined me last night for Game Over Vancouver on the Steve Dangle Podcast Network YouTube channel. A lot of fun. I had Sean Warren of the Area 51 Network with me as my guest. And tonight, I get to do it all again after the Canucks play the Sharks. I'm welcoming Nick Pinkerton of Twisted Wrister Hockey. He knows a lot about the Sharks. He knows a lot about the Pacific Division. He will join me as my guest on Game Over Vancouver tonight, right after the game. Yes, I'm going back-to-back, just like the Canucks. And then I'll be doing my regular Sunday night live stream at 10:30 p.m. So hopefully you can go double duty with me tonight. 8 o'clock or so, 7:45 for the Game Over Vancouver, and then 10:30 for my own live stream. Before I get to your questions, let's quickly talk about tonight's game. The Canucks could climb to within one game of 500 with a win tonight against the San Jose Sharks. San Jose is not doing that well either, so this is a winnable game, despite the fact that the Canucks played last night. I expect that the exact same lineup, except for Thatcher Demko and net. Bruce Boudreau basically said as much yesterday. So expect Boudreau, not Boudreau to play net, although that'd be fun. Expect Demko to replace Martin and net. And for me, I would run the same 18 skaters as yesterday because they dominated the Vegas Golden Knights. 9 of the 12 forwards got points, 2 of the 6 defensemen. So I would be surprised if it was anything other than Horvat, Miller, Bovenlander, Pedersen, Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, Dries, Garland, Besser, Amon, Joshua, and Lazar. Hughes with Shen, Oyel with Bear, and then Kyle Burrows, not Riley Stillman, Kyle Burrows with Tyler Myers. Again, Thatcher Demko and net. So that's my prediction for the lineup. Give me your score prediction. I've been so close. There's been a 4-3 game. There's been a 5-1 game, but I'm still going 4-2. And I'm not showing a lot of creativity with my score prediction until it actually happens. So maybe I'll go a bit more creative with the goal score. I'm going to say it's JT Miller tonight. So I'm going to say that it's 4-2 Canucks with JT Miller scoring the first Canucks goal. Give me your predictions in the comments down below. Let's get to your questions. Only a few today, but all very good and all around the same similar theme. Actually, before I start that off, I want to give a very special and warm birthday greeting. Happy birthday to Canucks Bo. It says today is my birthday and the Canucks play on my birthday. That's awesome. It's always great when the Canucks never play on my birthday because it's June 22nd. So Canucks playing on your birthday, Canucks Bo. Let's hope they give you a win for your birthday. Hall of Fame member Carol Bovenlander says, "Hi Clay, what do you think if the Canucks can go on like a 5 or 6 win streak? Will they demonstrate that they'll be able to get back in the race and salvage the season? I don't think that Boudreau will get fired. What do you think if we can just keep going on a win streak, and what player will be traded first?" Okay, there's a lot there. So yes, the Canucks have won 4 of their last 5. They've climbed to within 3 points of a playoff position. I do think this season is salvageable. The question is this a season you want to be salvageable? Because what's salvageable? Getting in the playoffs, then losing in the first round versus, I'll never say the T word, but we know how good the top end of this year's draft is. Is this the one year where you actually wouldn't freak out or wouldn't mind if the Canucks don't make the playoffs? That's an interesting question, but I definitely think the Canucks are looking a lot better, especially in the last couple of weeks. I do not think Boudreau will get fired either, not if the Canucks continue to play as strongly as they have recently. And who will get traded first? I'm going to save that for later because a couple of other people have asked about that as well. So great questions, Carol. Thank you for submitting them as always. Franchise member Chris Seifert says, Clay, thoughts on Pedersen as a possible Selke candidate? In my opinion, he's looked unreal on his defensive end, especially on the PK. Yeah, what a revelation. We've always known that he's been probably our best two-way center, and that includes Horvat, Miller, everyone. And the anticipation he shows on the penalty kill. I was joking about this on my show last night, though, because usually he gets his breakaways on the penalty kill 20 or 30 seconds into a penalty killing shift. Sometimes he's not the fastest skater to start with, but then he's kind of gassed, so that's why he hasn't really done full breakaways. He'll usually take a wrist shot or snap shot from the circles, and that's fine. He did that yesterday as Shea Theodore was hounding him. But overall, he's been awesome on the penalty kill. He's been awesome at even strength. And yeah, I think if the Canucks were a tiny bit better, i.e. in the playoff race, he would get more votes. There's always going to be the Patrice Bergerons, the Mark Stones and they play on much better teams in Boston and Vegas, so they'll naturally get more attention. But if the Canucks continue to improve, if they sneak into a playoff spot, and Pettersson continues his strong play, there's no doubt in my mind that he should be a Selke candidate as well. He might not win it. He might not be a finalist, the top 3, but he'll definitely get some votes, maybe even the top 10 player this year. I can only go up from there. Franchise member Brian says, what players will get traded first before the trade deadline? Go Canucks, go. Yeah, baby. God bless you. Okay, awesome, Brian. God bless you as well. You can always tinker around the edges, you know, a Dickinson for a Stillman, that kind of thing. But I think if the Canucks somehow still want to improve their blue line, you have to give up quality. And the easy answer is Horvat. My gut feeling is they don't trade Horvat. I think they look at a Garland or a Besser instead, someone who's making a lot of money, someone who's a winger. But if they want to re-sign Kuzmenko, maybe they think they have some depth at the wing, especially if Miller plays as a winger. Of course, you put Horvat in the, if you re-sign Horvat, then there's your center. If you let Horvat go, then Miller may have to slide into the middle. So all to say, oh, actually, I just answered Joe's question, which is next. So let me answer this too. It says, Joe says, if Horvat is traded, do you move Miller back to the center? Do you think Petey will be captain one day? And who would be the perfect team ambassador, much like Babe Pratt was? So let's get to Joe's first part, because I was just getting that. If you do move Horvat or can't re-sign him, I think unless you get a good center somewhere, Miller may have to go back to the middle, and you're just going to have to really train him to be better defensively. So all to say, if Miller moves to the middle, then maybe, because Horvat leaves or Horvat gets traded, then maybe you want to be a bit more protective of your wings. But let's say they re-sign Horvat, then I think you could trade a Garland or a Besser. So having said that, Joe's second question is, do you think Petey will be captain someday? I do. I do, and especially if Horvat is not re-signed or gets traded, maybe this is a time you can make Petey captain, and then you can have veterans like Miller and Myers and Ekman-Larsson be associate or assistant captains. And who's the perfect team ambassador? You know, I love Pettersson, I love Hughes, but they're not really the best, I say, public speaking forward guys. They don't yet scream community like a Horvat does, or even a Besser does. So who would be the best team ambassador? Kuzmenko would be awesome. It just is, he hasn't mastered the English language yet, but I love his smile. I love his, you know, Curtis Lazar, low key, could be a great team ambassador because he's local and he plays the game hard, but he's only on a 3-year contract. So do you say Miller? But I don't know if you want Miller. I love him as a player, but I don't know if you want him completely being your team ambassador, completely representing you in all team functions. So maybe it is Petey or Hughes, and they just got to kind of get old, because we know that hopefully they'll be here for the long term. Maybe Demko's another one. Luke Schenn would be great, but he's on the last year of his contract. So I think there are a lot of guys that could be team ambassadors. But yeah, that's a great question. I'd love to hear some feedback in the comment section below. Who would you nominate as your Canucks team ambassador? If I had to pick one right now, I think we know it's Horvat because he's the captain. I'd say maybe Petey or Demko would make the most sense to me. Finally, Birdie says, hi, Clay. Hope you and the family are well. What happens first? Coach Lee? What happens first? Coach leaves, Horvat leaves or stays? I think, you know, it's cool to go either way, because if you don't think you're going to re-sign Horvat, you should trade him by the trade deadline. So that would happen before the coach leaves. But I do think the coach is going to leave at the end of the season. And if you're still trying to renegotiate with Horvat or don't want to do anything until July 1st, then the coach will leave first. So if I had to pick, I have a feeling Horvat stays. So my answer to this one is I think the coach will leave, and not because he gets fired, but simply he coaches this year out and then he does not get re-signed. All right, Canucks fans, there are my answers. I hope I answered all your questions to your satisfaction. In the comments below, give me your team ambassador pick, give me your score prediction, and give me your first Canucks goal scorer. Don't forget, game over Vancouver at around 7:45, 8 o'clock after tonight's game, and then 10:30, my regular CCC live stream. Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for supporting me on this channel so loyally. Grateful for all of you. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, leave a donation if you'd like to, become a member, upgrade your membership if you'd like to, leave a comment down below if you'd like to. Ambassador, first goal scorer, final score. Give me all your predictions in the comments. I'd like to read, react, and reply as best as I can. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Enjoy the day. Enjoy today's Canucks Sharks game. God bless, and go Canucks go.